I want to tell you a story. A few months ago, I was here in Georgia, and I had the opportunity to see a rough cut film. I don't know if it had been locked yet, but a film that had been made called Cabrini. And I decided to go. And I'm sitting next to the studio head as we're all watching this movie. There's about, 20 of us. And about halfway through, I lean over and I said, I feel like those who were sitting in the room with Francis Ford Coppola must have felt on the first screening of The Godfather. This film, Cabrini, is a tremendous film. It is a great story. It's well acted. John Lithgow is in it. It's a miracle of a film. I compare it to the quality of Godfather. It is an epic tale, and it is beautiful. It is the highest of the art form. If it wasn't, being released, I think, by Angel Studios, it would win Best Picture when it comes out. It is remarkable. And now the reason why I want you to really listen to this is, do you remember what Christian films were just a few years ago? Remember how bad they were? Remember how preachy they were? How you were just like, oh, can we just make a good movie? We are making good movies now. And this is an exceptional movie. It is Cabrini, and it is a story about Mother Cabrini. If you don't know who she was an Italian immigrant. She comes to New York City in the 1800s, and she just wants to help the immigrant children because there's no money. I mean, the way you think immigrants have it bad now, you should see the way it was. She decides that she's going to clean things up. She's going to help feed these people. She's going to teach them, et cetera, et cetera. And she ends up building an empire of hospitals. In just a few short years, she built 67 hospitals, orphanages, and schools. And she's just this little woman that was sickly and deathly afraid of water. And yet I don't know how many trips she went back and forth from Europe to America and changed everything. She became an American citizen in 1909, and that is the story of the movie Cabrini that is coming out in a few weeks. It's actually March 8th. There's a reason I'm telling you this in advance, and to explain that is one of the co-founders and the current president of Angel Studios, Jordan Harmon. Hi, Jordan. How are you?
Glenn, it's so good to hear from you.
Yeah. I tell you, and I mean this, I've been raving about this movie to everybody I know. I can't wait to see how it does when it comes out. This is from the same director that did Sound of Freedom. He is a really big deal in South America. Everybody knows his name in South America. And he has come and put this together. Why did he pick this particular story?
Oh man, that's a great question. I remember when I first talked to him about it, he said, Jordan, there's films that you want to do, and then there's films you're called to do. And he said, this was a film that I felt called to do because it tells the story of a real woman who showed her power and her God-innate power to change the world in such a miraculous way. And when I heard that, it just hit me so deeply. And I had a similar feeling to you where I remember watching Cabrini for the first time and texting Jeff and Neil, my brothers, the other co-founders, and saying, guys, I think we found the next Frank Capra. Alejandro Monteverde is so good. And for those who don't know Frank Capra is, he's the guy who did Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. He did It's a Wonderful Life, some of the greatest and most iconic films of that generation. And Alejandro is an artist.
You are exactly right. I think he is. I hadn't thought of it that way, but I think he is the next Frank Capra. I was a big fan of his when I first saw, what was it, Little Boy? Do you remember that film?
Yes. Oh, man, so good. so good.
Oh, and it just captured America. It was just he is really good, really good. So he's the same director that did Sound of Freedom, which ended up being the 16th highest grossing independent film of all time. Made over $240 million. It's never been done really before. I mean, it was crazy. But you guys at Angel have short-circuited the movies. I mean, distribution. Walt Disney tried to do this and had to create his own distribution company, which is almost impossible to do. But you've short-circuited because you go directly to the people. Explain a little bit about the system that you have done where people select what you make and then how you get the theaters to accept the movies.
Yeah, so we've created what's called the Angel Guild. And the Angel Guild is this group of over 200,000 people and growing very rapidly who basically get to be the gatekeepers to all Angel content. So unlike Hollywood, where you have 5 or 6 executives in a room who are making the decisions for what is seen and what is driving the culture of our children and our grandchildren, you as individuals get to come in and decide. So the Angel Guild, for example, you had 1,000+ people who randomly were sampled. They saw Sound of Freedom. They loved it. They got it out to the world, and it's now been seen by well over 60 million people on our best estimates between theaters and Amazon and trending at Amazon. And then, Cabrini, people got to see an early screening of that, and they said, this is absolutely incredible. I remember my wife watching it, and she said, this film is by far the best film I've ever seen us put out, us being Angel. And that's saying something in terms of when you look at Dry Bar Comedy and The Chosen and Sound of Freedom, and there's all these different projects and this film stands in a league of its own. And the reason it's critical that we're talking about this today versus on March 8th is that part of our model is helping the theaters give us more screens by having a direct relationship with them as well. So we basically already put tickets on sale. You can go to angel.com/Beck. And you can actually go get your tickets today. And that signals to the theaters, we want more content like this. This is the content that's going to change the culture and is going to change the world to where it looks more like we believe it should for our children and our grandchildren. And the theaters are on our side. The theaters love what we are doing. It was fun when there's this conference called CinemaCon, and my brother was there, and he was wearing an Angel shirt, and people would walk up to him left and right and say, they pull out a cross, or they'd pull out their script, a little scripture verse and be like, we're on your side.
And you know what it does?
They're middle America.
Right. And they're in middle America, and they also want to make money. And what Hollywood is pumping out, nobody's going to see anymore. It's so separate from the middle of America. This is a great way, and I'm telling you, the problem with making films is you can't get them into the theaters because you need the big Hollywood studios to distribute it.
That's right.
Well, Angel Studios has broken that, but to be able to have this seen nationwide, the people that are like you and me that want to go see great movies, we have to buy the tickets in advance, because once a few of those theaters sell out, then the theater chains all see that and go, oh, wow, I better get on board. And they start opening it up to their theaters, and it just spreads. That way it has a massive opening. That's never been able to be done before.
And the response for Cabrini has been incredible. I mean, when you look at a big theatrical release in the U.S. is usually between 2,000 and 3,000 locations. That's a really, really wide release. And anything above 3,000 is just massive. We are already over 2,000 locations all over the nation. And people are pouring in to buy tickets because they're realizing this is a film. This is a cinematic masterpiece. My brother Neil said, this is not a motion picture. This is a motion painting. Every scene, every frame is absolutely gorgeous, and it has to be experienced in theaters. And so, like I said, if you go to angel.com/Beck, make sure you get your tickets now, because, again, it signals to the theaters, give us more locations, give us bigger auditoriums. This is the type of content that will change culture.
This is, I would say, the only Christian film made in my lifetime that is this good is probably Passion of the Christ, where that was just a mainstream, unbelievable film. Now, that was in Arabic, so I hate to say it was mainstream, but it was a great film. This is the same thing. It's the best thing, and this is the kind of quality you're getting because Angel has found the way to go directly to you and bypass everything. So if you believe in changing the culture, if you believe that we deserve better than just one choice of Hollywood, then this is the kind of thing that you need to get involved with. And you can go to angel.com/Beck, angel.com/Beck. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and you buy your tickets. How do you join the Angel Guild?
Yeah, so if you actually go to angel.com/Beck as well, you'll see on the left-hand side people in this chat bar that are joining the Angel Guild. You'll be able to join the Guild, and that's going to allow you to actually be a part of not only getting 2 free tickets to every Angel theatrical release, getting early access to our content, but more importantly, your voice gets to be a part of deciding what the next Angel project is, what the next Angel original is. You get to be the alternative to the Hollywood gatekeepers, and that membership could be one of the most powerful things an individual can do today to influence the culture for their children and grandchildren.
Jordan, what you and your brothers have put together is absolutely amazing. As you know, I'm a big fan and a friend of your whole family, and I mean that of the Angel Studio. They're just about to release the trailer, and we have to play it first. So we're going to play the trailer of Cabrini. I just want you to know they've picked Shania Twain to back this up, which is so weird juxtaposed to how this film looks. But it is, again, brilliant strategy for those who went to see What a Strong Woman Is Like and they watched Barbie. Give this a shot. Here's the trailer.
If we are to build an empire of hope, let's go, girls. It seems we must first conquer New York. Come on. Do people know rats have it better than the children of 5 points?
Wanna make some noise, really raise my voice. Yeah, I wanna scream and shout.
Have to show America we are all people of dignity.
Be careful, man. This place will eat you alive.
You have swatted the hornet's nest.
We are bold or we die.
It's not safe. Not for you.
I should get to work.
I will speak to the mayor, signore.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Man, I feel like a woman.
You think you're gonna march in here and tell me?
I want the best hospital for your people and for mine. Begin the mission, and the means will come.
What kind of New York do we want?
We are survivors. Are we not? We are.
Quanto rumore fa una donna da sola?
It opens up March 8th. It is Cabrini. Get your tickets now.